Alright guys, who's ready to do some cooking? Just kidding. So no, we're not really going to be cooking up food, but today we're going to be teaching you guys how to cook up design and how we like to cook up our designs here at Hatch Duo. So thanks for joining us. Well, let's get started. Before I gave you guys, an episode on, why visual branding language is important. And today I really want to just get into, a little bit more detail about how we here at Hatch Duo like to get into brand language and how to apply it and how we kind of dissect the ingredients to be able to cook up these awesome designs. Yeah, so we're going to just break this down into parts. So really the first part of understanding our process and really like how we tend to be really consistent with the way we design things is we always start with strategy. And that strategy really consists of, obviously understanding product requirements, the user, etc. But even before all of that, we really like to understand the client's brand. And really like what we're looking for is we're trying to understand their goals, their attributes. If the brand were a person, how would we describe that? And why do we do that, right? If we can understand who the brand is, then we can basically dissect and identify all these attributes, correlate these words, right, into visuals that our designers can then work with to basically come up with design elements for the product. So this is a super important step for us. We usually do this in the very beginning of every design engagement with all of our clients, whether you're a startup or a large brand. And it's really just so that we can align ourselves and make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to understanding, how this brand should feel, how it should look, and where does it fit in terms of the market. And so when we were talking about understanding who the brand is, we will really try to work with the client, and we even have this like workshop where we try to identify words. So we may find that the brand is innovative or dynamic or futuristic or premium, and all these words, right, you can actually start to think poetically and realize that they associate with something visual, right? So premium, maybe it's metal finishes, maybe it's brushed stainless steel, or dynamic, maybe the form language is a little more organic. And so all of these elements we really take into consideration at the very start of the process. And this can be done in multiple ways. Like I know there's different ways. At some places they may do it a little more in depth. Here we really try to isolate just the necessary bits that are needed, particularly since we work with startups. Speed is a huge factor of getting to market, and so we feel like we've really kind of distilled it to the necessary parts of the process. And so at Hatch Duo we really break it down into 3 different categories. Okay, so 1 is form language, and 2, it's the color, material, and finish, and then lastly 3, it's the context. It's the story, the contextual environment, like where does this product go? Why do we break down visual design into these 3 elements? Well, like for one, I think 3 is like a magic number. Any more than 3 and it gets confusing. Any less than that and I don't think you're covering enough cross-section. But with these 3 different categories, we essentially are getting the brand into that middle ground of product market fit and brand market fit, really. And so if we can think of like every design dish to be made up of these 3 elements, that's, if we can do that successfully, then we know that we've kind of like hit the target. And so just kind of like moving right into it, if we like, how does this all work, right? So you're saying form language, how do you apply visuals to that? Well, if we're selecting form language as, a category, and we take some of those words that we talked about before and when we're trying to understand who the brand is. So let's just say we know that the brand wants to be very friendly. Maybe this is like a toy company or something like that. And one of their brand attributes is friendliness, approachable. Well, for the form language, maybe we apply that word and attribute into the form language category, and in that category we start to look for imagery and visuals that represent friendliness. So for instance, if we think about Robin Healthcare, we did this too. We looked at, friendly robots like Baymax, or we looked at pillowy shapes, rounder shapes, nothing sharp, right? Like we wanted this to be approachable, gentle, and friendly, and very humanistic, right? So that's something, that's an example of like how we can apply visual language to the actual form itself. And then the second category, maybe this is where we get, a little bit closer to the product, and you're starting to see a little bit of the detail, the colors, the material, the finish. Well, maybe we're working with a power tool company and they want to be robust, sturdy, reliable. These words connotate, something rough. You can beat up on it and it still lasts. And so maybe on the color, material, and finish category, we start to relate, visuals like textured rubber or grippy material, or very cladded texture, like bumpy texture relating to like rocky or turtle shelly type patterns, right? All of these things can kind of tell that story of those words we were trying to identify before in terms of understanding who the brand is. And then lastly, this is kind of the X factor for us, like we call it context. So this is really just understanding like the product itself and like what it's trying to do. So, maybe we are designing a shoe and it's specifically for running, right? If it's specifically for running, or like a product for running, that connotates speed. And so for the context, we want to try to bring in elements that visually represent speed, whether it's very fast lines, or maybe like it's a gradient to show like kind of like try to visualize wind blowing across something. So I think like that last category is always a real fun one, and that really is very different, for every product that we do. But you can kind of get a sense of how when we simplify this very large, complex idea of form language and we break them down into these little 3 bowls of ingredients, we can just start to like cook with them, right? And so that's kind of why, it's funny, like my team makes fun of me that I'm always using cooking analogies here, but I really do feel like design can really be broken down to that aspect of cooking. It's like getting the quality ingredients so that you can have a quality dish afterwards that fits the palate of the person eating it, okay? So hopefully you learned a little something here. This is, just a brief high level of how we like to utilize our design strategy here at Hatch Duo. Yeah, hopefully we'll do some more tips like this in the future. Okay? All right.